What a start to February. This time around, last season, Arsenal began not in such a hot vein, and we find ourselves there again. 1-0 loss to Everton at Goodison Park. Sean Dyche, welcome back to the Premier League. Not the kind of welcome we were hoping to give you, but um, I mean, Aaron, this was a frustrating result for the most part. And before we discuss anything else, at least I feel like the need to admit that Everton fully deserved this result. They were a very good team. They weren't the prettiest team on the pitch, definitely, but they came out to do what they wanted and they did it to the T. So well earned 3 points for them. And yeah, let us start with that Everton thing, right? Like, does this now set them on course to safety in the season?
I wouldn't really be sure about it. I'm hoping with the brand of football that they play, they still go down. Uh, I mean, Sean Dyche, for all you know, I saw his post-match interview and he's just about team spirit, morale, and blah 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 blah. It didn't really make sense. Yeah, basic organization, yes, agreed. That's what they did. I'm not really sold on what they were set out to do. I think they got the goal on that corner. It was a mismatch. I mean, you don't have Odegaard up against someone like a Tarkowski who's going to take the header every single time. That's it. I don't think they created any other huge chances. A few in the first half, yes, but those weren't really 100% shots on goal. Those were attempts that could have gone in. Those weren't really on target or blatantly going to the goal. I agree. They were out there to defend and get a point or three. And I was talking about it with someone that whoever gets the first goal is probably going to get the result, and that's what really happened. The low block certainly has become a pain for the Arsenal. Once again, 10 men behind the half line. You have to do something to unlock the defense. And coupled with a few of our players not really hitting the mark today,
I mean, a
it just
lot of
felt
them, I feel
disaster.
like, right? And Ketia, I feel like, had a couple of chances. Odegaard had a really good opportunity as well. Martinelli still not that great on this game. Saka had a few shots on. I mean, pretty much our entire attack just struggled in front of goal, right? Everything just went over the bar. I don't think Pope was significant. Not Pope. Pickford was significantly
Pickford.
challenged at any point in the game. So, but like you said, they came out to do what they wanted. The defending was good. I mean, that was the biggest takeaway from this, right? They actually had structure. They weren't just running around the pitch, which is a huge upgrade from Frank Lampard. And that is the reason why I feel like that plus, you win against the league leaders while you're bottom of the table. If they wouldn't have gotten the win, I would have maybe had some doubts. But 3 points from a fixture that you get 0 points from, where every point counts, I think it makes a huge difference. And I think that might just propel them to safety this season. Um, but yeah, that was not a pretty Arsenal
Not fun to
performance.
watch.
That was
Definitely
not
not
fun to
fun
watch
to
at all.
watch.
What could Arteta have done? I mean, Partey taken off again. I don't know whether it was still fitness concerns because he was sort of a maybe going into the match. Jorginho, we knew. I almost had a feeling when Jorginho came on that it wasn't necessarily a tactical change. I felt like it was more of like a precautionary thing because Arsenal were pretty much on top in that second half. The Trossard move didn't work to the and I mean he had to take off Odegaard at one point as well because he wasn't really able to make a difference. Like what could Arteta have done in this match?
I mean, Ben White probably had another off game today. Could have used Tomiyasu much earlier on. Jorginho, for his part, did decent enough. No faults with his gameplay. He didn't really leave out any loose balls. Thomas Partey was good defensively, but his passing was way off today. His passing was way off. And I think he also should have been hooked in the start of the second half. He wasn't injured, that's for sure. This might just be a rotation move just so that he can ease into the games rather than playing the full 90 immediately, especially with an injury concern just off of it. I think the Trossard move was fine. We needed some more directness, someone who could like not always be on the wing. And they had covered that to the T. They made sure that Saka and Martinelli were always around the touchline and never inside. And they always had a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1 situation whenever it was Saka or Martinelli, which essentially meant them getting either fouled or just being cornered into doing nothing. A big difference would have been Emile Smith Rowe because he's one of those dynamic players who will probably cut inside more often than not. And his unpredictability is what was needed in a game like this because he's great at tight spaces. And we only had a few inches of space when we did have it, and it didn't work out this game. I think everyone was waiting for an Arsenal defeat. Here you go, here's your Arsenal defeat. It does not mean anything. It's one game at a time, as you've been saying it earlier. It's going to be one game at a time. Arteta said it out loud. It's one game at a time.
Yep.
On to the next. Focus on Brighton, and hopefully it's a, or is it Brentford or Brighton?
It's
Either of
Brentford.
those. Oh, okay, Brentford. But we are playing home,
Yes.
so at least some sort of respite.
Yeah.
And
And it's the big one before the before the Manchester City game, right? But you're
oh
right. It
yes,
does put us in a situation to where we sort of have to. Again, we have a 5 point cushion. Let's remember we still have a 5 point cushion, but it
totally
does put you in a situation where now the double header against City makes it is a lot more important.
could change
Um,
a lot of
so we
things.
find ourselves in a position where we're actually hoping that Spurs can at least do us one favor. They weren't able to do it last time, despite being gifted 2 goals. Hopefully, they can do something this time around.
I
Um,
have zero expectations from Spurs, honestly.
when I was looking down, I was actually just trying to find the XG, and Everton actually did have the better XG in this match as well, which just goes to show that they created the more clear-cut opportunities, and they just kept Arsenal very limited to those long-range speculative shots. Um, Honestly, if even if we would have had a couple of those, those shots that went over on target, could have given us a shout in the game. Um, but yeah, kudos to Everton. Great way to kickstart under a new manager. Fun facts, by the way. Arsenal have never lost when playing against a new manager. So this was the first time that Arsenal have had to lose when playing a new manager in charge. And in the middle of the season, let's put it as well. And Everton, surprisingly, have the exact opposite as well. A new manager has never lost when taking over their first game at Everton, especially at home at Goodison Park. So it was just a sad, sad game. I mean, we have to bounce back. We have a week to prepare. Brentford needs to be a resounding win, and we need to build up that head of steam before going into that absolutely important Manchester City game. But yeah, let us know what you guys think. What happened in this game? Are Everton in a position where they can now clinch safety? And is this a result where Arsenal need to worry? Or is this just a blip in the road? Everyone knew this was going to come, and Arsenal just need to kind of pick up and move on. So, yeah, as always, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. We will see you guys next time.
Next
Bye.
time.